Hi, this is Ann. I've just fried some chicken strips for lunch, and I wanted to do a little rice and gravy to go with it. So I already cooked my rice, and I have the oil with the little Frenchies in the bottom where I fried the chicken. And I'm going to pour some of this oil off. I don't need it all for my gravy. I guess you would need to leave maybe a third of a cup, depending on how much gravy you want to make. So this was my canola oil that I fried the chicken strips in. And now I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of flour. Now I'm using self-rising, but it doesn't really matter what kind of flour you use. So we've got our leftover oil from the frying and the little crispies in the bottom of the skillet that are going to give the gravy its flavor. Now there's a lot of different ways that people make gravy. A lot of people like white gravy, but I like the brown, dark brown actually, gravy. This is like a roux. Well, that's actually what it is. It's a roux, as if you were making gumbo, but I'm not going to let it cook quite that dark. So I've got my maybe third cup of oil left in the pan, and about a third cup of flour. You use equal parts, more or less. If you find you put too much flour in and you don't have enough oil, you can add a little oil. Or if you didn't put enough flour in, you can add some more. But I'm just going to add a little pepper and salt. I'm actually cooking this a little bit too fast. I don't want it to burn. I'm going to add a little salt. This is something that can be seasoned at the table to taste. And if you can see in this pan, it's getting very dark. So you can't, this is something you can't turn your back on. Stay with it once you start cooking. So it's very dark now. And I've got my, I'm getting some hot water out of the tap. And I'm going to add the water to the skillet. Now this is going to steam up, but that's to be expected. So I've got this very dark, if you can see it. Adding the water and stir it. And I think I'm making a mess on the stove. So to my roux of made from a third cup of oil and the 1/3 cup of flour, I'm going to have to add approximately a pint of water, maybe a little bit more. It will continue to thicken. And what you have to do is add a little bit of extra water and then let it cook down. You have to let this cook a little while, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I call it ripening. My gravy has to ripen, because it's not good at this point. I guess it would do, but it won't taste as good as if I let it cook just a little bit longer. Because we can always add more water. But that's all there is to old-fashioned southern brown gravy. You just take the leftover oil from where you cook meat, whether it's chicken, steak, or whatever, and add some flour to it and let it brown. And then add water. And it is really good, going to be really good served with the fried chicken strips and over rice. I grew up on rice and gravy, and I love it to this day. So if you found this recipe to be helpful, please like and subscribe. And thanks again for stopping by. I'll give this gravy about 10 more minutes and then it'll be ready to eat.